event or contest in which people compete against one another. This means whether you're on the field playing a sport, texting your friend and arguing with them, or even trying to answer a question the fastest, competition is everywhere.
Okay, what made you want to teach physical education? Did you always want to teach it?
Well, no, I wasn't. When I went to college, I was actually not planning on teaching. My first year in college, I actually was in communications. I wanted to go into like sports broadcasting, so I really wanted to stay involved in athletics still through there, and then I decided, well, I just took a class and didn't really enjoy it. And then I decided that, I still wanted to stay involved in athletics. So I wanted to coach. And I thought the best way to stay involved with athletics was to go into physical education and, help with kids being active and getting a well-rounded education.
Okay. Do you see any difference in the competition between the high schools and middle schools?
Yes. With me coaching at both levels, when I was the head football coach here, and now I'm an assistant at James Clemens with football, the competition is at a higher level at the high school. They have more resources, a larger pool of students to pull from. When you're at the middle school level, you're pulling from one grade, because you have a 7th grade team and an 8th grade team. But when you have, high school, you've got 9th through 12th grade, and so you're going to have more athletes playing together. So yeah, it's definitely going to be. There's definitely more competition in the high school, and there's more high school coaches than there are middle school coaches. As far as just the game of basketball, football, baseball, whatever, any sports, there's still that. Everybody still has that competitive nature, but overall, you have more students to choose from and more athletes to choose from, so it gets more competitive. The higher level, the higher that you are, the higher level that you are. The same can be said from high school to college to professional.
Okay. What have you always wanted out of your teachings to students who take your class?
The main thing that I want from the students is to, number one, I want them to enjoy physical education. And I want them to learn how to live a healthy lifestyle beyond just a hour and 15-minute class, and beyond 9 weeks of an hour and 15 minutes. I want them to learn how to, like I said, make healthy choices. What can they do besides what the coach says in a 45 minutes to an hour and 15-minute class.
Okay. Do you think that you promote competition in a healthy way? Do you see it as a good thing or a bad thing? Why?
I always think I do promote competition. I think competition is, I think it's a very good thing. Now, I think there are instances where you don't have to necessarily compete in everything with each other. I believe you can have a competition, against yourself. Just for example, when in our strength and conditioning class, when they're working out in the weight room, they can compete with themselves. And when I say that, I mean they can try to lift more than what they did the previous time, or better their scores between themselves, and not necessarily have to compete with each other. But I also have, there's a saying in sports that competition breeds excellence. So if if I'm an athlete and I'm competing for like a starting quarterback position with another quarterback, I'm probably going to better myself because I really want to work harder to win that job. And that's a part of life too. You're going to compete with, when you work a job in life, you're going to compete, with a rival company, or you may be competing with another coworker to get that same promotion. So to me, competition is very important to learn at this level because it goes all the way through life.
Okay. What do you see yourself doing later on in your career as a coach and a teacher?
Well, I am starting my 11th year as a teacher, 14th year as a coach. So I've got a nice base and foundation in. So right now, at this point in my career, where I'm at right now, I'm the head basketball coach here at the middle school, and I am the quarterbacks coach and the running backs coach at James Clemens High School. My goal in the future, and obviously I'm teaching physical education, and I will continue to do that. That's what I want to continue to do, is teach physical education. As far as my coaching career, my next step that I would like to be is a high school offense coordinator in football, and then eventually a high school football head coach.
Do you think that competition is human nature? Why or why not?
I do. Regardless of whether people say they're competitive or not, it can be competition in different things. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be on an athletic field or a basketball court. It can be in board games, checkers, whatever. If you watch, when anybody plays any type of game, they want to try to win. And I do. I think competition is human nature. Now, I do think some people have more of a competitive nature than others. Like me, like I said, I don't want to lose at checkers. If I'm going to play something, I'm going to play to win it.
Did you know about 66% of America's adults watch NFL football? 33% are female. The other 66% are male.
And now for our next interview.
This is Parker Wynn and Ethan Turner. I'm just going to ask you guys a couple questions. How much time do you guys spend online a day?
3 hours.
2 to 5 hours.
Okay. Have you guys ever competed online, whether it's like an online contest or a video game?
Like against another person online?
Yes.
Yes, on Madden 16.
Yes.
What type
Game, Call of Duty, things like that.
Okay. Do you know anyone else who regularly plays online?
Some of my friends kind of stopped playing video games a lot.
Oh.
But if I had to name one, I guess it'd be basketball game.
Do you know like what their mindset is? Do you think you have the same mindset when you were playing with them?
Yeah, I guess so.
My friend Andrew Brewer, friend Raphael, and they all play like Call of Duty and GTA with me. And I would say we kind of have the same mindset, like we do the same things and stuff.
Why do you think they act this way?
Wait, I'm sorry, repeat.
Why do you think they act this way while competing online?
I guess it's just because, it's competitive and you're trying to go against another person.
Yeah, you're gonna have the same thought on that. Like, I guess the game kind of like takes your mind. Like, you're focused on the game,
Yeah.
and that's kind of all you're focused on.
Do you think
trying
that's
to win?
kind of like human nature, or do you think it's their own opinion?
I think it's kind of like human nature to do that when you're playing a game.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people that do that, and that's got to be, something repetitive.
Yeah. Do you ever think there's like a reasonable amount of competition online?
Reasonable?
I think there's a little bit it's reasonable, but it's like over reasonable. Like there's a lot of
Yeah.
competition online. Like everyone's playing against each other now. Like it's crazy.
They've got video game competitions now, like it's professional stuff.
Do you
Yeah.
guys try to stay away from a lot of competition?
Do we try to?
Try to stay away from it?
Yeah.
I don't. I think it's fun. Like especially Call of Duty, like in tournaments and stuff like that. It's really fun.
Well, in Madden, there's a lot of, it's a big risk to do it, but if you win a competition, there's a lot of rewards, so
Yeah.
I try to stay away from it as much as possible.
Yeah. Do you want to say anything else to the audience before we shut down?
Competitive games can be fun and risky.
I think competitive gaming is very fun, and like it could, if you're really good at it, it could become like a career for you in the future. If you're on like a big team for a certain game, but I think it's really fun, and I think anyone could do it. I think you should give it a try.
All right, thank you guys.
Yeah, thanks.
Did you know scientists have proven that if people see their future or income affected by the competition, they will play rough or cheat the system? And now for a final interview.
This is Mr. Blankenship. Okay, I'm going to ask you a few questions. I myself like to play chess, but I get angry or embarrassed when I don't win. How about you?
It depends who I'm playing against. If I'm playing against somebody who's, a grandmaster at that level or something, or even somebody who's here at school and they're very, very high level. Like, Kane Story, he was always a hard kid to play last year in class. I beat him a couple times. He beat me a lot of times. But the way I look at it as a teacher, if a kid comes in and he's got the grasp of the game that much more, that really makes me proud because I see a kid really taking a simple game and really going all the way with it. So, but yeah, if I'm playing like, my sisters or my friends or my grandfather or something like that, I'm a little upset when I lose that.
What are some of the different reactions you've seen to chess players who don't win? Why do you think they get angry, and do you think it has something to do with the failure that comes after the loss?
I think they get mad at themselves. I think they get mad at the decisions that they make, and they see that, they had a chance to win. They had a chance for things to be different. And you see it lots of times after they make a bad move and they get captured, do the dough, where they slap the forehead, or you can just see like, man, I wish I hadn't done that. So I think when they get angry, I think they're not angry at the person beating them. I think they're mad at themselves for the choices that they made, which in a lot of games, that's hard to find. You usually get mad because the other team beat you, or you get heartbroken, or whatever else. But in chess, it's all a reactionary game. It's all on how you react to what's thrown at you. So it's interesting to see people's reactions when they're playing the game of chess because you can just see the light bulbs going off. Like, oh, I didn't need to do that. So.
Do you think you have to be always mentally prepared so you can handle the amount of competition that sports or any kind of...
I think you do. I think if you want to be successful at it, then there is a focus that needs to be involved. You can't just show up to the field and just expect to win just because God blessed you with an ability to do it better than most people. I've seen teams time and time again that had all the talent in the world, but they didn't have the focus or the desire or the right mental attitude. And I see teams that didn't have as much talent, but they had that mental toughness. They had that preparedness. They came into the game ready to play. They had their mind right. It made a difference, When you put your mind to something, anything is possible. You have runners who run long-distance sprints and stuff, and their body, you could tell it's just all give out and everything, but their mind, they've done trained their mind to keep going. I mean, you have some who fall over from dehydration, and they can't even move their limbs and stuff, but they're going to finish that race. And, you have to have that same kind of mental capacity in whatever you do. If you want to be successful in school, you've got to put your mind to it. You want to be a successful football player, you've got to put your mind to it. Anything worth doing is going to take an amount of focus and mental intensity to do.
Now that you've seen what effects competition does, it's up to you to determine if competition is healthy or unhealthy.
If you would like to know more, see our editorial at speakoutlms.weebly.com.